Hey guys, what's going on? Gaming the Maximus here. Wanted to bring you the classes and origins that are coming to TFT Rise of the Elements. So, if you don't know, TFT is getting a complete overhaul, 95% new classes, new origins, new units, and I want to tell you what's good. So, without further ado, let's jump right in to the first one, and that's going to be Desert here. Now, Desert, it reduces each enemy's armor by 50 to 90%. So obviously 50 being the 2 units and 90 being the 4 units. So now I thought this was going to be a dope as fuck origin. I thought it was going to be overpowered. Like, you know, you're reducing your opponent's armor by 50%. That's got to be great. I was wrong. It's pretty bad. The units that go into this origin are Renekton, Sivir, Azir, and Kha'Zix. They have no synergy together whatsoever, Renekton being a Berserker, Sivir being a Blade Master, Azir being a Summoner, and Kha'Zix being an Assassin. Those origins and classes just don't work well together. It's very hard to squeeze it in, and I have played a bunch of Desert because, again, I thought it was going to be great, and I was coming in like 5th, 4th every time. So it really isn't that great. It's super hard to pull off, and there's usually better origins or classes that you can get in over Desert, and so I'm gonna have to put it down in E. It's really not that great. I would recommend other stuff pretty much, so we're gonna slap it in E. Alright, moving on to our second one, Inferno. This one you're going to see a lot of. Is going to be a meta staple for sure. Basically, any damage that is reduced by armor or magic resist is going to burn the enemy units under their feet. It's going to be like walking on hot coals, not good for them. The reason you're going to see this a lot is because Zyra and Annie are both summoners, Diana and Kiana are both assassins, and Varus and Kindred are both rangers. So it has a lot of staples of very good classes in there already, plus it's got Brand, who's also very good, so you're going to see this one a hell of a lot. I've already been seeing it a lot. Zyra's a great unit, Kindred's a great unit, Brand's a great unit. You're going to see it a whole lot. I'm going to end up slapping this in S tier. It's so good. Next up, we got Poison. So Poison is put on by either Kog'Maw, Mundo, Twitch, or Singed. Basically, once you have 3 of these units, you apply Poison and make people's mana cost 50% higher. That is crazy good against mages or any comp that wants to cast spells. Unfortunately, you can't just run this by yourself. These guys don't have great synergy. Mundo's a Berserker, Twitch is a Ranger, and Singed is just a legendary unit by himself. Kog'Maw, kinda garbage, don't want to run him. But with a Twitch Ranger comp, you could put this in. With a Berserker Mundo comp, you could put this in. Very good, but not the best. I'm gonna slap it in B tier. You know, it's really good, but it does not stand alone, you know, so it's gonna need some help. Next up, we got Steel. Nice, short, and sweet one. It's Rek'Sai and Nocturne, and for each champion you have in this, they get that many seconds of immunity once they drop below 50% health. So right now, it's just Rek'Sai and Nocturne, 2 seconds of immunity. If you throw in a Lux, you can get 4 seconds of immunity. Lux can go into any origin, by the way. Should have let you guys know that. But as it stands, it only affects the champions in there, so even if you have Rek'Sai, Nocturne, and Lux, it's really not going to do much besides make them invulnerable for 4 seconds. Not really great for the team, and I really doubt you're going to be making Rek'Sai or Nocturne carry, so I'm going to throw it down here with Desert in the E tier. You know, I mean, if you can get to Lux, make her a carry, sure, but it just does not seem that it's going to work out too well. Next up, we got the Old Motion of the Ocean. It is pretty good. I really enjoy this one. You've got 2 mages in there, Vlad and Syndra, both mages. You've got 2 Wardens, Thresh and Nautilus in there, and then you've got Nami. Ocean, every 2 units in Ocean gets you either 10, 20, or 40 mana every 40 seconds. Mages' mana pools are very, very low, so this is a great utility origin to have in there, or even just for really any class or origin. Getting them free mana, whether you're running Wardens in Thresh or Mages in Syndra and Vladimir, it's great. I like it. Mana is good. We know that. I'm going to slap it in A tier. It's really great, and it could possibly even be a standalone origin. Now we're moving on to Shadow. Shadow is pretty decent. It based off of 2 to 4 units, and those units at 2 will deal 50% more damage for 5 seconds, and if they kill something themselves, they get a refresh on that damage. Now, if you go up to 4 with that, it's 100% extra damage, and it refreshes whenever a Shadow character takes down an enemy. Now, this isn't great because Vigar, Scion, and Master Yi don't really blend too well together. Malzahar and Kindred, though, actually do. So Malzahar and Zyra can work together as summoners, and Kindred and Zyra work together as Inferno. So that's mainly where you're going to be seeing this. 2 is really all you need. It's not that big a deal. It's not that strong. I tried full Shadow. It's not that great, but it is still good, but it needs help just like Poison, so we're throwing it in B tier. Now onto the opposite of Shadow, we got Light. Light is an interesting one. I thought it was going to be complete garbage. I ended up running into a guy who ran a Light comp and made a few people Light. We talked it out, and he told me that his Kindred was doing the most damage. He had made her a Light, and so I tried out just Light by itself with Nasus, Vayne, Jax, Yorick, and it was not that great. Basically, from what I've seen and played, if you put Light on somebody who isn't already a Light character, it will pop off. Basically what happens is whenever a Light champion dies, they get some attack speed and health back. Again, this really isn't that great on slower attackers, but if you can get it on a Kindred, some kind of ranger, it'll blow it up. So I'm going to put it in C tier, very average in my opinion. You need to get a spatula for this, which is going to be very difficult, and so Light is going to go in C. Next up, my personal favorite, Woodland. So this includes Maokai, Ivern, Nico, and LeBlanc at the beginning of combat. They make a copy of one of those champions I just listed. It's so good early. You grab an Ivern, you grab a Maokai, you grab a Nico, boom, you get another one for free as soon as combat starts. It's nuts. They're also all druids, so they get free health regen. It's nuts, it's great. And then obviously I took it into late game. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's crazy. We made them real tanky, then we made them real crazy, and yeah, it can go into the late game very well. It does really well in the early game. The units are very easy to find. Overall, really great origin, and you're definitely going to see a lot of it, if not just in the early game, but maybe some in the late game. I'm going to slide that right into A for me. Not as good as Inferno, but damn close, so I'm going to slap it into A. Next up is Electric. This is a really odd one because it includes Zed. It has Ornn, Volibear, and Zed, and they basically, whenever they deal a crit or take a crit, they do a little AoE shock. So with 2 of them, it's just 60, but with 3 of them, it's 200, and with 4, it's 500. So it's really good if you can get all the way there, but guess what? You're probably not going to. Ornn and Volibear really don't synergize all that well. Ornn being a Warden, and Volibear being a Berserker, Zed being a Summoner Assassin. It just doesn't work out that well. It's not worth to force it. You know, crit chance is about 1 in 4 of every auto. Sure, the AoE would be nice, but you're not going to get to that Zed early enough, and Ornn and Volibear making a Warden Berserker comp is really not going to work out well for you. I'm going to put it in D tier. The only reason it's not in E or F is because Zed is in there, so this is going to be slapped right into D. It's not worth it to do Electric. I'm going to be real with you. Now moving on to Mountain. This is a basically reverse Phantom. You have Talia, Kiana, and Malphite in here. At the start of combat, a random ally gains 1500 shield. It sounds really good. It is pretty good, but it's hard to do. Talia is a mage, Kiana's an assassin, Malphite is a warden, so it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be very hard to pull this off. You will usually see it in a mage comp. You know, obviously you're running Talia in there. Someone might slide in a Malphite for the time being, but eventually it will get replaced for something a little more useful, whether that is more Ocean, maybe a Mystic, something like that. That being said, a 1500 health shield is insanely good, and it definitely slows down, you know, how fast your front line gets killed or your back line. So I'm going to slide it into C, you know, very average but hard to pull off. This is pretty much the same for Light. Whisking on over to Wind, we've got Yasuo, Kiana, and Janna. Obviously, I've said Kiana a few times here. That's because whatever the Elemental Drake Hex is on the board, that's what she is. So if you don't know what that is, go check out my last video. I explain it a little bit. But anyways, all allies gain 25, 40, or 60% chance to dodge, depending on how many units you got in there, which is 2, 3, and 4. It sounds like Yordles. It is basically Yordles. The problem being, Yordles were good, and Yasuo and Kiana are not that great. Janna is a pretty good unit, but besides that, it's not that great. Lux can obviously be slid in here, and I think that's the only real reason you'd ever run this is you get a Lux who's Wind, you have a free spot, you chuck her in there, everyone's got 25% dodge chance. That's the only way I see this going well. Blade Masters are pretty bad, Assassins are pretty bad. I'm going to toss this in D tier just because Lux is able to help buff this up. Next up, we got a classic, Glacial. You know what it does. 2, 4, 6. There's a 20, 40, 60% chance to stun. The units in there are Warwick, Volibear, Braum, Ezreal, and Olaf. Obviously, Lux can count as 2 if you want to chuck her in there. It's stun for 1.5 seconds. It's Glacial, baby. You know what it is. It stuns. Not much to say about it. You'll mainly see it probably in either Berserker or Ranger comps, as Volibear and Olaf are both Berserkers. Braum and Ezreal can work together, as Ezreal's a Ranger and Braum is a Warden. So, you know, you have a Warden, you have a little bit of Warden there, protect your Rangers. Not much to say. It's great. You know, the stun RNG is great. We all remember, you know, it says 20% chance, but yet you got stunned like 4 times. I'm going to slap it in A. So lastly, we got Crystal. This is super cool, super new. Crystal champions can only take 100/60 maximum damage from any hit. So 2 Crystal champions is 100, 4 is 60. Skarner, Taric, and Ashe, and of course Lux are your Crystal champions. You're going to see this a lot with Taric, Ashe, and a Ranger comp. It's so good. So that is any hit. So if you know you're against somebody with an Infinity Edge, guess what? You're only taking 100 damage. That Brand just ulted you, 100 damage. Veigar just ulted you, 100 damage. Regardless of whatever's coming at you, you're only taking 100 damage from it. Super broken. It lets Ashe free hit. Taric, he has his ultimate from League, so he's just chucking down immunity. Really great one. Even though it only covers 4, I'm still going to chuck it up in S tier. So good for the small utility it provides within Rangers and or Predator. Super good. Definitely slide it in if you can. So guys, this is the tier list. I hope I didn't seem too rushed. I did literally record all this before, and it was like 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, no matter how I did it. So I redid it. I did it a little bit faster. I hope that doesn't ruin the quality of it or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to make a shorter video and not waste your guys' time, or, you know, I just wanted to do it quicker. I didn't want to do it so that it took like 25 minutes. Who's clicking on a 25-minute YouTube video unless it's something you're really, really interested in? So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will have a class review and tier list up as well. After this, I'm going to put this one up first, and then we'll do the other one. Let me know if you like it. I'm going to try and do it today. If not today, then Sunday. And yeah, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and get ready for this Rise of Elements. Later.